The right.
It's on the right. So, what side is it going to increase on?
The right.
The right. Pat someone back. It's good. So if I were to make this one then into a T account, I would increase on the right. We good? Yes. All right, let's do another couple. Ashley went out, made some deliveries, and she was paid in cash. That's a good thing. You like to be paid in cash. Cash is good. She made the deliveries of $500 worth of deliveries. Does anybody remember where we wrote revenue down? It's going to be written right over here. Remember that a revenue is going to be the money that you make doing whatever business it is that you're in business to do. So because the business that we're talking about tonight was that delivery service, then when you deliver the packages, that's revenue. It's making money for your business, doing what you were in business to do. Okay? Now there could be names for that, just like cash and supplies is a name of an asset. That's an account name for assets. We can also have account names for revenue. So we can call it delivery fees. That would be the fees that they're charging for making those deliveries. It could be sales. It could be service fees if you were, a massage therapist and that was your service that you were doing. Depends on what kind of business that you have as to what the name of that revenue account will be. And it could be more than one revenue account, actually. But in this instance, I think they used delivery fees, okay? If I made this into a T, for a T account, and Ashley had brought in $500 by making these deliveries, and the $500 was in cash, what two accounts are going to be affected? Is it going to be this revenue account and cash? Okay? So if that's the case, cash is going up or is it going down? It's going up. And cash is an asset, and assets are on the left. So where's it going to go up? On the left. It's going to go up $500. Right? Yes. What about revenue? Where am I? Here's my equal sign. Where is revenue in comparison to this equal sign? It is on the right. So we're going to increase it on the right. Okay? Clear? Mm-hmm. Notice that it's also on the right of this umbrella as well. Right? And that's going to be important here in just a few minutes. Now let's go back and look at this for just a little bit. What we've already accomplished up here on the board. I know I'm standing in front of half of it. But if I were to say this very first one, I have $2,000 plus, $2,000 plus, right? I also have a left and a right. So now let's look at that $1,200 one that Rebecca was talking about earlier. I have $1,200 went up, and I have $1,200 went down. I also have a left, and I have a right. So now let's look at the next one. It was $900, correct? So I have $900 that went up, and I had on the other side of my equal another $900 that went up. So I'm in balance, but I also have a $900 on the left, and I have a $900 on the right. Are you with me? So now, here's my equal sign. What about this next one? I have $300. $300 went down on the left of this. $300 went down here. I also have a left and I have a right. So not only are we talking about the fact that, here's my equal. Again, I know I'm, is that good? Can you see everything? Okay. But whenever, if you're looking at this equal sign up here at the top, this guy right here is your all-important, this is like home base, this is like, you know, that's where you would go, that's where Trent would aim for, okay? Right here, under that equal sign. That's what you want to always keep in mind. You want to keep your eye on this equal sign, because everything on the left of that equal is going to increase on the left. Everything over here on the right-hand side of that equal is going to increase on the right. Okay? Thumbs up if you understand. Good. Now, I'm going to introduce you to two words in the language of accounting. And I will tell you, you've heard of these two words before. But I want you to erase your brain as to what you know them to be. And about 2 chapters later, we'll pick up what you know them to be. But for right now, we are going to assign them a brand new definition. Okay? We are going to rename, I'm not having a lot of room to write here. We're going to rename the word left. And we're going to rename the word right. This, by the way, has nothing to do with what's written above it. I'm just using an empty spot on this board, okay? Don't think that this is a liability or something that I'm writing up here. The new words that we're going to assign to these two will be the word debit and the word credit. So from this point on, don't think about debit cards and credit cards. We know we all have those, and we love them and we hate them. But at the same time, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about today in class. What we're doing right now, where you are in accounting, is that these two guys are synonymous. Debit means left, credit means right. Right means credit, left means debit. Okay? Sometimes you will see that, especially in your ebook, it will be abbreviated DR and CR from the Latin term, what debere is, or something. If I didn't have to speak Latin, I would say that properly, but I don't. But anyway, sometimes you will see that as an abbreviation for those. Most of the time, I just put a D and a C. That's easy for me. So debit means what?
Left.
Debit means left. Credit means
Right.
Right. Did I say debit meant positive? No. Did I say credit meant negative? No. What happened?
It's my mom. It's my mom.
Oh, answer it.
Hello? Aw. Like I answered and then she hung up. Way to answer the phone.
That's on video.
So we've got debit means left, credit means right. So if I were to take these two terms and place them inside these T accounts that I already have written on the board, that means that I would go to every left side of the T, and I'm going to put what?
Debit.
Debit. And on the right side of all of these T's, I'm going to put the word
Credit.
Credit. So I'm going to start here with supplies, and I'm going to put D means left, right? Yes. D means left, right. D means left.
That's correct.
Correct. Credit means right. Debit means left. Credit means right. Debit means left. Credit means right. Debit means left. Credit means right.
Debit.
Debit means left. Credit means right. Now let's take a look at that.
Aw.
Because this debit is a plus. 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 But guess what this one is?
A minus.
And it's a minus. But it's still a debit. So that's why you cannot say debit means plus. Because guess what, class? That debit is not a plus. Debit means
Left.
left. So don't make that mistake, okay? So I'm coming over to capital. Debit means
Left.
left. Credit means
Means right.
right. Let's do revenue. Debit means left. Credit means right. Okay? practice makes perfect. Okay, let's add a couple more things to our class. Let's pay rent. Rent is due for $200. When I pay rent, I did not buy something that's going to offer any kind of a future benefit to my company. I am paying rent in the past. It's for last month. Okay? So as a result of that, rent is not going to belong over in the asset side of things. Now, it is going to affect an asset because I paid it. And when I pay something with cash,
It's gonna go bye-bye.
cash is going down, right? So if I pay $200 for my rent, what do I do right here under cash?
Credits.
Subtract 200, and I'm going to subtract 200 on which side?
Right.
The right. Okay? Never write a number down once, do I? Instead, I need an expense. And expenses aren't up here yet. So, expenses we will write here on the left-hand side of this umbrella. It's important that you write it on the left-hand side of that umbrella. And the type of expense that we're going to talk about here is rent expense. And now I need you to really focus up here for just a second. Once again, debit means what? Left. Credit means right. But there's something weird about expenses. Up to this point, we have easily said, here's my equal sign, and everything to the left increases on the left. We've also said that everything to the right increases on the right. Correct?
Correct.
But I would venture to say that many of you in Chapter 2 became confused when you came to your expenses, because I can't tell you how many of you emailed me and said, "Do I put a minus in front of that, or is this supposed to just put?"
Yes, you do.
No? How do you handle that? So, let's think about this for just a second. I am actually going to put my rent right here.
Why?
But even though the rent is on the right-hand side, it is going to be just the opposite. And the reason that it is just the opposite is because what does rent do to my owner's equity? What do my expenses do to the owner's part of this business?
It increases.
It's going to decrease, right? If I spend money, the owner's part of my business is going like this, right? In fact, the owner can spend every penny that's in this business, right? When he spends money, the capital is going to be going down. These are just subcategories of this one. They're just subcategories of this guy. Are you with me? So therefore, all of these expenses will eventually end up right there. Eventually. I know. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Rebecca. So this positive right here means that I'm going to be adding up all of these expenses on the positive side, because eventually they are going to be subtracted from your capital. But I have to add them all up before I'm subtracting them. That's the weird one.
That's the only one that's like that.
There's one more that's like that. And the other one that's like that is going to also be written on this left side of this umbrella. And what is it?
The drawing.
The drawing. Very good, Jane. It's going to be my drawing account. My drawing account is also something that does what to capital. Whenever I suck money into this company, it decreases this. But I can take out $100 a day, $50 next day, $100 next day, $200 next day, right? And I'm going to add up all of those that I've taken out, and that is going to be subtracted from my capital. So because of that, I'm going to add these up on the opposite side. Now, here's the way that I remember it, and I hope it will help you too. my umbrella is a very important tool. And everything that's under this umbrella, can you see it all under the umbrella? Everything under that umbrella is all a part of my owner's equity. It all goes together. All of this guy goes together. At the end of the month, we will actually take all of this stuff and pull it up into that one. But we're just not quite there yet. Okay? So the easiest way to remember that is to flow off of the stem of your umbrella by saying the things that are to the right of the umbrella are going to increase on the right. The things that are on the left side of the umbrella are going to increase on the left. So when you get to your umbrella, make that. Underneath that umbrella, work off of this to remember. There's your memory hook. On this umbrella, if it's to the left of the umbrella, it's going to increase on the left. If it's to the right of the umbrella, it's going to increase on the right. It's these big guys across the top that can work off of this equal sign. Say, assets will increase on the left, liabilities are increasing on the right, and my capital is increasing on the right. You see? Are you thumbs up with it? Good. This is the hardest part right there. It truly is the hardest part. If you can just brand it in your head, that expenses and drawing, think about it, expenses and drawing take away from your owner. It's gone out the door, you've spent it on something else. It's going to decrease that capital. Better?